What's up, Cyber Hawks? It's your man Eric. And in today's video, we're going to be going over another reaction to one of my old projects. This one is going to be the setting up a mock student desktop environment and pretty much attacking it with malware. All right, it's the little red teaming right here. So let me go ahead and bring that up for you guys so you guys can see. And yeah, let's go ahead and click on it. And again, this was 2 years ago, like my other video I recently did. And yeah, I have in a minute. So let's see if I still remember this one a bit. The summary, in this project, I built a fake environment for a student using Oracle VirtualBox and then attacking the system using a ransomware attack, utilizing Visual Studio for the creation of the virus code. And this, I learned how ransomware attacks work, or ransomware works on the coding side of things, as well as how quick a system can get encrypted if you do get hacked. And it can be pretty quick. In this, the technologies and components I used was a Windows Server 2019, Oracle VirtualBox, Visual Studio, Community 2019, file and storage services, virus total, C, Windows security, and a firewall. All right. So first up, setting this up using VirtualBox. I mean, on this, you can use you can if you wanted to, I guess you could create this on your own machine if you wanted to, or use like another virtual machine. Hey, you can go to Azure and create virtual machines, but I use VirtualBox on this one because it's free, or at least it was free 2 years ago. I'm not exactly sure if VirtualBox is still free at this moment. It should be, but then again, it may not be. It's crazy how stuff was free at one point and then it's not free anymore. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I work with VirtualBox to create the fake student environment, making sure to get my personal PC, Mac, since we were dealing with viruses. That is true, but we're going to be using like an old malware. So, not to really mess up anything, but still, it's always good to play around with this in a sandbox, or, like something like that versus using your own machine or own your own machine. So yeah, using a Windows 2019 ISO, and can we make this bigger so you guys kind of see this? As you guys can see, that's kind of some of the my information. If you want to copy this as well on yours, Windows 2019 64-bit, processors 4, video memory 128 megabytes, etc., etc. So just in case you guys wanted to look at that. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to our next part. So from here, I downloaded the Visual Studio Community 2019 for our recording part, and this was easy to download. You can download this online, and on this, be sure is the .NET desktop development, the .NET desktop development workload as well before completion. I kind of just have screenshots of it so you guys can see. And again, I'll make this slightly bigger real quick so you guys can see that there in the website I use. You can go to Google and type it in, and it should allow you to download this. I believe you should still be able to do this even today. But again, this was 2 years ago. So again, things are crazy sometimes with some of this software and different stuff like that. And yeah, after getting this, the last step was getting the ransomware project on files from online. From there, I created a folder named Save Folder and placed in our C drive so that it wouldn't be affected by a ransomware attack. That will attack others on the machine, as well as being able to manipulate or decrypt later without any issue. And I put some screenshots there so you guys can see our save folder that we created right there on our machine. And then, as you guys can see, within the save folder are decrypted and encrypted parts there. I still have those folders there zipped. And then the fun part, creating the fake desktop environment. I do remember creating this environment. I remember having a blast with this one. And yeah, as you guys can see, my goal was again to make this feel authentic, like an actual person's computer. So I had different stuff in it. I had different fun stuff in it. So we got the Kim test results, download now, the Goku must buy image, list of passwords. Please don't delete me text. So as you guys can see, this is on our desktop. And our debug, we got this and those files. And then our documents, we got these folders and files. And then in our pictures, we got a whole lot of Baby Yoda, Goku needs his car, stuff like that. So we got we got files and in multiple places. All right. So again, it's not just like this malware is not going to just be attacking one folder. It will be attacking multiple ones, as you guys will see in a sec. And then let me go back to this for you guys. And then, yeah, we created that. And then the encryption part. So, okay. So after disabling our Windows security to protect our virus from possibly getting detected, because yeah, this is an older one, so it will get detected, my Microsoft Defender, like super quickly. But we disabled it, so this wouldn't happen. So yeah, just quick interjection there too. Watch out about deleting or I guess removing your Microsoft Defender or your security in your system because you don't want just random stuff like this to happen. But anyway, after disabling our Windows security in the virtual machine, I then opened up our ransomware project that I downloaded and placed it in our safe folder previously through Visual Studio to see the current code is GUI, which is the graphical user interface, and make any customizations that I see fit. And as you guys can see right here, made it look pretty cool in Visual Studio. RIP LMAO. Your files have been encrypted. Your files, how many files that were there have been encrypted in order to recover your data. Please send blank Bitcoin to the following Bitcoin address. And this is like some random stuff right there. Like, I don't believe that's an actual address. That would be crazy if that was an actual address. And it was just so government that I'm not attacking people. This is not, it shouldn't be a real one. And oh wow, I can't make this bigger. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Wow. Okay. So I can't make this bigger for you guys. I'm trying to make it bigger so you guys kind of see more within Visual Studio of the coding and whatnot that we got for this ransomware attack. But anyways, afterwards, I ran the ransomware execution file and watched live. Literally, I do remember this how quick it was. But I watched live as the files across the 3 directories became infected. You can recognize the infected files by the image becoming blank beside the file name, as well as the JCrypt being added to the end of each file. And let me see if I can make this bigger. Wow, I don't know. Wow, okay. GitHub is not letting me make this bigger. So what I'll see if I can make it bigger like this. So you guys can see hopefully a little bit better. It sucks I'm not able to actually, you know what? I can maybe zoom in like it this way a little bit more for you guys. I want you guys to see this. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better now. But anyways, we got the JCrypt right after the file name on each one. Desktop files encrypted already. Files and documents folder not encrypted yet. Picture directory encrypted already. Encrypted already. Yeah, like it was fast. That was the desktop went first. I got my pictures next, and then my other files started getting connected. Getting contacted or getting hit by the malware. And then all files outside of our safe directories are now encrypted with our ransomware. And it's like the final result right there. All of them are now infected outside of our safe folder. Our safe folder is good, but all the other folders weren't. And just so you guys can see beforehand how they looked, you can see the dot, you can see SJ, Goku, Vegeta, etc., etc. And then hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better. But I wish I could zoom in, or I wish I could make this better for you guys so you guys can see. But anyway, all the files were now infected, and I see them all outside of my main safe folder. And yeah, after all the files were finished being encrypted, our pop-up showed up on the screen notifying the victim, which is me in this case because I'm affecting myself, that their files have been encrypted and to send us 5 Bitcoins to an address and email for a transaction confirmation. And I'm not gonna lie, having 5 Bitcoins would have been nice right about now, especially. And this was 2 years ago. So I think Bitcoin was around maybe 60K, maybe around 60,000, 60, 70. Nah, yeah, maybe around 60. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe around 60. So I think right now it's like over 100K. So yeah, each one, 5 of those over $500,000 just like that would have been awesome. As you guys can see, it actually was able to count 18 files have been encrypted in my little RIP LMAO message there. And then in addition to this, a new file is created on the desktop, notifying the user that the files are encrypted with a log of each of the files and what directories they were in with the previous info from the GUI present as well. And you guys can see that all the information right there. Thank you. Have a nice day. Encryption log. And then the analysis of the ransomware. This is fun too. Virus total. Now, if you're going to be working in cybersecurity, you should have heard about virus total. And this is something I use on a daily because it's always good to check. You may want to check files, which is great. URLs also, I believe they also check hashes as well. But I use like another site. I can't not think of the name of it for hashes. But yeah, virus total regardless is great. You can get a lot of information about things to see if it's actually, safe or not safe. And if you don't find information on virus total, that does not necessarily mean it's not safe, but it kind of gives you an idea. Like if you type in like a malicious site that's been getting a whole lot of flags, you will see it there for sure. They have a whole bunch of different flags, but just because you don't see anything there did not necessarily mean that it's safe too. So, just be wary of that. But anyway, lastly, I use VirusTotal to analyze our ransomware that we just used. And from here, we're able to see that our malware was detected by 46 out of 72 machines. So yeah, red flags everywhere. It was like, this is a known virus right here that we end up getting and downloading and using for this test. And in the details section, we can also find more info regarding the malware, including the MD5 and SHA-256 hashing. So yeah, yeah, we were, I was briefly talking about the hashing a little bit, but yeah, you can get all the information there as well. The hashing. So again, if you have something there hashing wise, you can also put that in virus total, see if you can get anything there. So you kind of get, again, more idea. And details are great on this. I love looking at the details on a lot of these different things just to have just the extra knowledge. And then, the ones that weren't able to detect our malware were probably because their antivirus engine used signature-based detection, whereas our code was customized. And that's true. We did do a little customization on it, mainly for like what we wanted to say. But yeah, if I was using just the default, like if I just downloaded that malware, for example, the executable for it, and I didn't customize or anything and just put it on my system, it probably would have been, I guess, registered by more. But since it was customized, we did play around within Visual Studio. We weren't necessarily, I guess, flagged by everybody, but we still flagged by a lot of people, but not everybody. So I may have to do like a part two where I don't customize it and kind of just see how much we'll get flagged in 2025. 2 years later. But yeah, in conclusion, in closing, this project gave me the ability to learn more about malware from an attacker's perspective, as well as a user. In addition to using like new services like Visual Studio, and this is like my first time playing around with Visual Studio 2 years ago, and manipulating the C code, I was able to get more hands-on experience as an attacker, and how to find and use malware to put myself as or in the shoes of a red teamer. And PS decrypting. Oh yeah, I also decrypted the computer as well. So yeah, I was able to get the decryption files for this malware as well. I was able to find that online. You can find the decryption for this one too. But yeah, so yeah, if you were following along, yeah, you can get yourself 5 Bitcoins, LOL, and then send yourself the decryption executable, and then run that to decrypt your environment to get that perspective as well. And yeah, out of that, I decrypted it. Oh wow, that's crazy. I really can't show you guys like a larger version of this. Every time I click on it, I get this error message here, which is crazy. But anyways, yeah, you can usually, if you're playing around with this one, there is a decryption file for this, so you can put that on your machine, decrypt all your files, and you'll be good and set to go. But yeah, I had a fun time on this project, like going through this. I remember some parts very vividly, and some parts I don't remember as much. Like I don't remember too much playing around within Visual Studio, so I probably will have to play around with that some more. But I definitely remember having a blast creating the different files and whatnot. I had a definitely fun blast on that, kind of creating that environment there and decrypting everything. That was fun as well. But yeah, I think with cybersecurity, and I guess like a lot of different tech things, I think it's great to kind of just have fun and play around with different things and try out different projects. And this is something I'm going to again do more of, but not just doing projects, but also being able to document them and put them on GitHub, put them on YouTube, or put them in different places. Because when you're applying for jobs, for example, they will see this and they will ask you questions about your GitHub, like, "Oh, that's cool," or look at your YouTube channel, look at some of the stuff you're doing, like, "Oh, that's cool," and want to learn more. People at your job, if you tell them, they'll be interested, or at least some people will be interested and kind of want to learn more about different things there. And you kind of have some type of camaraderie there. You know, maybe they didn't know you could do this, or maybe they didn't know XYZ about AI that maybe you played around with and you guys can talk about. So I did different things on that. Also, too, you kind of just getting more knowledge. And for me, I like doing like red team, blue team, purple team. I like doing a plethora of different things so that it gives me the ability to be a better cybersecurity analyst, be a cybersecurity engineer, be a cybersecurity XYZ. Just having that knowledge base of like, okay, this is how attackers act, and this is kind of what they view on certain things, and this is how the defending side looks, and this is how they view things, certain things on that. So kind of, just opening up your head, opening up your mind, and it can help you out with not only being a better red teamer, going over red team things, but also makes you a better defender because now you kind of just have like an idea of how certain things work. And again, you to play around with other tools. Again, I was able to play around with Visual Studio and Virus Total, and this was 2 years ago, so this was before I started working for my current company. So whenever I started, started using Virus Total a whole lot more. But again, I had knowledge of using Virus Total from these projects. For example, like I had to use Virus Total to look at XYZ. It was easier and free, and now I get to use it daily. So you know, it's like you getting your own experience using projects and whatnot. But yeah, guys, if you want to see this, you can go to github.com/Eric McClellan 1. Take a look at this. Maybe you may want to go ahead and look at this ransomware and do this yourself. Shout out to Josh Metacore also for this idea for this one. He has some great projects, and I love doing these projects. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.